Okay. Ooh, here we go. We're doing things now. My experiment didn't work, so we're just gonna save it for another day. But that's okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right, got that up and going. I think what we're gonna do all right, where are my things? Could scooch that. There we go. Cats are being crazy. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of Picotron development tonight. Let's go ahead and swap over to there. All right. Oh, I forgot to post links. You know what? Let's not worry about that. We're not going to stress the business stuff tonight. I don't feel like stressing the business stuff tonight. I feel like relaxing and having a little bit of fun. All right, where were we? Let's take a look at our design doc. Our to-do, create push button styles. Flat for the dialog box. We ended up making... yeah. Raised for the panel buttons. We didn't do that. We could do that. We could knock out that tonight. Text box, text wrapping. Okay. So I tinkered a little bit today, and I added this little borders thing so we can kind of see the elements. We see the little tags for the scenes, the buttons. You can kind of see it peeking through. That's the bank, like the frame that the buttons on the sides sit inside of. And then here's the dialog box and the dialog buttons that we made last time. I did make a small change to them. It hovers the little highlight over them when you mouse over, but when you click, the text bounces, but the highlight does not. I kind of like the way that looks. I feel like the highlight needs to be static like that. I've been trying to keep in mind, excuse me, how this is going to interact with mouse controls and gamepad controls at the same time. Okay. So let's see here. We're going to do... want to do the raised panel or the raised buttons? That's these. That's giving these a different style. I think I want to do actions. Let's take a look at the roadmap. To get room navigation working, we need the dialog box system working. Scene transitions. Oh, the dialog box list system working. Okay, let's talk this out. Let's think through this. Because I think I'd like to get room navigation working. Right now, it shows the scene and it plays the text. And then we can hide and we can show the button field. We can also hide and show the text. I think I want to do look and move. So we want, if there's text here, I'm trying to think through this process. Where's my phone? Where are your phone? What? Why is that saying it's offline? Hold on, I'm checking YouTube real quick. Huh, the YouTube Studio app doesn't let me check my current stream. I wanted to pull that chat up. Okay, we'll just pull it up there. So let's hook some actions up to look. Yeah, let's get into our actions. Ooh, almost quit Picotron. That was our test action. Let's do... We don't need that. Probably don't need any of these actions. Rehydrate text editor. Let's leave that, because I don't know if I'll need that in the future. Action, set, tail. Yeah, this is all Kiro comment stuff. Same thing here. Probably want to hang on to the quit action. Audio enabled, audio disabled. Can leave that there. Tabletop buttons. Copy to clipboard, we don't need that. We don't need that. Show dialogue. Okay. Oh, yeah. Show options. I think I might want to hang on to that one, because we're going to need to make like a little pause menu. Might as well. Okay. Options menu, you know what, let's get rid of that. We don't have an editable text menu yet. We do have YouTube chat. It's very clunky at the moment. I'm still working out a good system. I found a neat software called, oh goodness, what was it? Social Stream Ninja? And that's what I used last stream, and it like popped it up on screen, but it was like super slow. Like it was bogging my computer down. So I think I need to like figure something else out with that, or find a way to lean it up a little bit. My system feels like it's doing pretty good. Maybe I could fire it up. I wonder if it'll just like pick it right up. Because yeah, I think it runs like a bunch of Chrome instances to pull each of the chats in. New streams found. Let's see. Yeah, it found that. Hey, there's something. There's stream elements. That's Twitch. It doesn't let me sign into Rumble for some reason. And it'll probably pop up on screen when you chat now. We'll give that a go. Try to test it a couple different times. All right, we're going to do oh wait, no, I can't do that because when we did the dialogue box, we stripped out all of the text writing system. Yeah, okay, so let's work on the text parser. That's going to be a little challenging, but that's okay. Where did I start that? All right, you got the GUI system. We attach the scenes and the buttons in the dialogue. And then in the scene manager, we attach the scene. We're drawing the scene and the border. It's not that. Where is it? Those are the action buttons on the side and the different button banks. It's got to be in the dialogue then. All right. Found one, found two. Where are we attaching stuff? Here we are. All right, there it is. Text container is hidden. All right, so there's the text container back there. So let's unhide that. bit of a delay with YouTube also. Going to time the delay to see my message. Yeah, it's being slow. It's not the most fastest thing. All right, we've got the text container. We got the button container. And I want to hide the button container. So we'll do why doesn't that hide it? Oh. There we go. Show, hide, show. Oh, but why does hide and show not work? What? There's the text box. But it's not showing the... Why is that gray there? Wasn't bad. I saw your message after 20 seconds. I noticed YouTube was behind Twitch the other day, though. Oh, yeah, probably. Just the way that the encoders work or something. So if I hide this, is my hiding buttons? That was under GUI elements down here. No, that was like in the main area, wasn't it? So where I put key press. Where did I put that? I hate it when I drop like debug stuff just into random places. There it is. Okay, so show buttons does a loop through all of the buttons. That's what's going on. But that's probably better. So here's what I'm thinking. Do I want to do something fancy like when you show buttons that they go booloo 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 boo and show up with juice? Or do they just show up all by themselves? Because I can, if I want juice, I could like show the buttons. Oh no, I do need to show or hide the buttons individually because it's based upon whether or not if they have an action command. I can't just hide or show the container. So that means That means this cannot be like this. But this is inside draw background. I can do an element show buttons or hide buttons, so I can just go ahead and no, it's not. This is still in the create dialog function. So that means that function isn't available yet. That means I need like an init. Let's undo this stuff. Nope, put that back. Let's get rid of that. And then let's get rid of this. And this is going to be dialog text and dialog buttons. All right, so I think what I need is like a proper load scene. Like an initialize a scene. And that's going to drop the scene information in for the room. That's going to like prime the buttons, kind of like hide those, place some initial text, stuff like that. What is my current scene system? I have attaching the scene GUI object. And then I have this init scene function. What runs init scene? Is that in my actual init? Okay, it is. So the init scene function should probably be more robust. I should probably move this into here. And then this is going to be data. And then, oops. And then when I init this scene, I can put, that way I can reuse this scene initting function. So when we init a scene, we're going to load data. And then we're going to hide the dialog buttons. What else are we going to do? Whenever we load a scene, let's see, a lot of it is just going to be loading the data. Because the data is going to be where we pull the sprite from. The data is where we're going to pull legal locations from. It's also going to be where we pull like the look command. play our what would the word be for like typing out the description, reading? Read. The room description. We want to show the dialog text box. What else do we need to do? Trying to think, do I need to like load move destinations? Like, do I need to do that, or we're reusing the same buttons that are in the button dialog? So that means when you click move, that's when it's going to pull and update the buttons and then show them. So we don't need to do that. I think that's all we need. So let's see if we can figure that out. So the dialog box is called dialog. So body.dialog dot and these hide and show. That's just in the dialog. So hide buttons. So body.dialog dot hide buttons. And I believe that's going to be a colon there. Okay. So that works. Then we can show the dialog text box. So that means I should probably make a show text function. Show text and hide text. Do. Be gone, bot. And then this, I believe it's just a property. We want self dot text container. Is that what it's called? Text container dot hidden equals true. Nope, that's macros. Okay. True. And that one's hidden. Nope, that's false. Wow, I'm tired. It's 10:30 and I'm tired tonight. Ooh, I didn't even have that big of a day. I've been feeling a little off today. I'm not sure why, but I am. All right, so let's go here. Show text. And if we were to say hide text, we're hiding the text. Nice. You know what? I should probably... Should I probably hide both of them? Nah. Show text. All right, now is the stinky part. I want to have a dialogue function. So that's going to be in our create dialogue function here. And it's going to be read text. Read text is read write. Read write. Display text. I want it to write the text out to the screen. Present. We're going to go with just read text for now. And this is going to be generic enough. Body dot dialogue read text. And that's going to be data. What does our data structure look like? So we have the look. Let's call it, because I noticed that you can click look and it'll like describe the current scene. Like what's currently happening, not the room description when you enter. Description. Why am I getting a weird echo? Oh, that must have been that song. That was strange. And then for our look, we're going to say hurry, the path is just ahead. All right, so under our thing here, we're going to say data dot description. And under here, Let's see, I've got the text container and then the text box. That's my old code. Where's the... Okay. Background. Create text box. Was that in GUI? Create dialog button. Create text box. And text. Okay, so we should be able to update text container text box dot text. Self dot container dot text box dot text equals, we'll say text, and then in our scene we're dropping the description in there. Do I have, oh, that's text underscore box probably. Okay, so it's pulling the text. And then just to test this out, let's make some actions and we'll say, let's actually copy this. And we'll make a function action dot look. And then we'll have move. And scene control, we'll do the description. No, it's not the description. It is set dialog text. Yeah. I don't think we need self in here. And this is going to be body dot dialog dot text container dot text box dot text. Right? No. Equals this is wrong. This is not the right thing that I needed to make. My brain was moving on to something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to change scene. And this is going to, we're going to init scene with the data. Like that. Do 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 do. And then we can come to our buttons, and instead of action.null, we're going to just temporarily make this change scene. Oh, but I can't pass properties to, or I forget how I do that. I've done that in the past. You have to like also pass the property as a separate field. And this is a push button. I should probably already have that in here under my push buttons. Create push button action. No, I don't. Is it on a different button? Yeah, on args. Yeah, I don't have that baked into that button. Okay, well, when it does the action, it just runs that function. All right, then to test this, we'll just say change scene 1. Or we'll just say change name spinach, and then this is going to be, we'll just bake the data into it. I don't like that. That is not extensible at all, but we'll have to redo the button. Let's actually add that to our to-do. Make change push buttons to push button actions to accept arguments. And this one's going to be celery. Change scene, celery. Okay. Well, that works. Let's change this back to null and null. We'll block those out. And then we'll make this a spinach and celery, and spinach and celery, and spinach and celery. Okay, we're getting there. All right. Now we need to do text. All right, so we've got, let's take a look at our old text here. Dialog.block. So in our thing here, we've got, oops, there we go. Our create dialog, we have blocks and then a table of individual blocks. So we'll have like block, we'll have like dialog dot blocks dot block. Because a block is going to have multiple lines in it. And the blocks table is going to have multiple blocks. Is that right? Do I want to... Wait, do I want to make this lines? So if I do block 1... Yeah, I don't think I need that in there. I think I just need blocks. And then when I add a block, it'll be like block 1. It'll look like block 1, line 2. Yeah. All right, if dialog.block. Let's go ahead and match that naming convention. Block. I don't like looking at old code. If dialog, the length of body.dialog.block is greater than 0, then we continue. I'm using a blink clock. Alright, pressing the button makes it go faster. If dialog.block1.done. What is going on here? If dialog.button on and action button, then we delete block 1. So the dialog button, that's like the little arrow that flashes. If the arrow is on and currently flashing and we press the action button, then we delete the index at dialog block 1. What was that song? Racing Gears Advance. Need to remove that one. But it doesn't purge the dialogue table. Wait, not the dialogue blocks, it purges the whole... Used to purge the whole dialogue table? Alright, and then we have a draw dialogue. Draw the text box as a map. Well, we're not doing that anymore. Protects... Okay, and then we skip if we don't have any. Offset text position inside box. Okay. I don't understand why that's... Okay. Maybe that's because I was using the map and it was like 8 down or something. Load first line, then others will auto-load once the previous one .done is true. And we start feeding text, whatever that does. Text block 1, text X to text Y. Okay. If the dialog button is on, then we check a blink modulo and then draw the arrow icon. Okay. Loading text. So it sounds like we load text and then we feed text that is loaded. Width, height, block start, block end. Those are probably just placeholders. Line start 1, line end is width. So that's that. Init dialog. So that clears. Did we go through init? No. Where is init? Is there no init? Did I delete that? I'll bet I deleted that. Okay. Protect against empty text. So why would we load text that's empty? That doesn't make sense. So if it's nil, an empty string, or space, then we return. Okay. Don't know why we couldn't do that earlier up, because that's... But alright. Then we determine the number of text blocks. So we take our Local block equals the ceiling of the length of text divided by our width and height. I guess that's a static amount? See, this isn't even like printing the text. Okay. So it's breaking it into chunks. Then we build each block for I equals text block, which is that. So that should really be like block length. That would be a better variable name for that. And then we process lines. So we have lines equals 0, while lines is less than the height, which is 4. I guess that's characters. These are probably characters. 29 characters wide and 4 characters tall. And then we delete spaces at the front of the line. Okay, so if line, where is line start? Line start equals 1. Okay. So that's probably like the line starting position. So if the first character in the text string is a space, then we cull the string. I don't know what that does. Okay. But it looks like we feed the whole line of text into it, and then we're giving it that position where the character needs to be deleted. So this could probably be replaced by some string commands. Where's our functions? If we go down to string, G sub, I think it is. Oh, that's in C. I'll have to pull this up somewhere else. I think G sub pulls a substring out. So you would probably start at the line after this and then go to the end, and it would cut that character out. Alright, so that deletes the space in front of the line. If word rolls over, so if the line end, what is line end currently set to? The width. Okay. Nothing has updated the width yet. Alright, so if the text character at line end does not equal a space, so it has to be a space. Shouldn't we also look for like periods? Okay, if it is not a space, and... Alright, so that means, okay, if it's not a space means there is a character there. And the character after that is not a space. So if we essentially have 2 spaces in a row? No. Wait. If we have 2 not spaces in a row. Okay, so that means if the last character is a space, we're cool. And if the first character on the next line is a space, we're cool. But if both of those are not spaces, the last character on the line and the first character on the line, then that means there's some sort of rollover. So it's either like the end of a word and a period, or the middle of a word or something. So it's if there are two character, like a character at the end of the line and the character at the beginning of the next line, then we repeat line end -1 until line end equals a space. So if we see two regular non-space characters next to each other, then we roll back one character until we find the last space, essentially. Okay. Then we say if lines are greater... Lines? Where is lines coming? Lines is 0. Are we incrementing lines at all? Okay. Oh no, because we're in a while loop. Lines is less than or equal to height. All right, so if lines is less than height, then text equals insert new line. Text end a line. Okay, so that's gonna end. Okay. So it's probably gonna grab from the text file to the end. And then it increases the number of lines that were. I wish I had these functions. I might need to hunt those down later. And then determine next line range. Set start to character after end. So we're essentially setting up for the next line. Check if remaining characters is less than the width. Set the block end. Set new end. And then we do it again. And then we saved the finished line. Block equals string sub text start to block end. Okay. This has a lot of holes in it. I mean, it was kind of functional, but I'm kind of thinking that we might just need to redo this. Oh, and then we have feed text. But that should be fine. Like, that's easy enough to do because that will print a subset of the text character by character. Yeah, and then it like prints the string. And then if it's done, then it prints the next one. So technically it's printing all 4 lines at the same time until... But there's just like nothing until the... Yeah, it's like doing them blank. Okay. Dang, I hate to do this, but I am about to fall asleep. I think I need to document what we're gonna do next. So that because we looked over it and it looks like it's like we have an idea of what's going on. So I don't want to put that work in reading that stuff to waste. But my brain is like I am fading fast. I don't know what's going on today. I might be getting sick. But let's see here. Let's take what we've learned here so far and let's help ourselves next time. Dialog box text feed. Let's see, the current dialog box. Let's see, current text feed relies on We don't have... in this cart. We need to functions to parse text. What else? I don't like the breaking strings. Lines, insert, new lines instead. Make font agnostic. I wonder if there'd be value in like taking the strings of text and breaking them down into words. And then like print it word by word. And I think we might need to research some methods. I feel like there are better ways to do this than what I'm doing. I know Smelly Fish Sticks has done like a number of these and they always look really good. I should ask him what he does. Alright, I think I'm going to call it for the night. Yeah. I apologize for the short stream. Normally we go to like midnight or so, but I am just not feeling it. But that's okay. We're gonna do this next time. And we're going to do it better. But thank you so much for hanging out. I super duper appreciate it, and we'll catch you next stream. Bye-bye.